Hey, good morning. Just wondering if you have taken the time to go someplace like this lately. I mean, this is only just a few blocks from my house, and I have a tendency to sit at home and feel stressed and get irritated, and I don't take the time to come down here very often. But what I want to talk about today is hope for recovery. It's a course that I'm doing, but I'm not really going to talk about the course. I'm going to talk about how do you recover from whatever it is that you are struggling with. What have you been through? What is causing you difficulty? What is your, where are you stuck? Maybe it is in, using products, drinking, drugging, whatever it might be, or perhaps it is just your mindset. Maybe it is things that have happened to you in the past and your thinking has become toxic. What do I mean by that? Well, our brains are like these trees. Take a look at these trees, okay? All these trees have branches on them. They all have leaves on them. And our brains are like trees where they have leaves on them because there's water flowing through them. And in the fall, the leaves don't really die. They're pushed off by the new life coming through them. That's what needs to happen in our brains, because our brains are really like these trees. We have these branches on our brains that have neurotransmitters that put all kinds of chemicals throughout our body that help us to actually think straight. And if we don't have the right chemicals in our brains, things are going to go awry. We're going to get migraines and headaches. We're going to have all kinds of physical problems. We're going to have all kinds of mental problems. We're going to have emotional problems because our thinking is not right and we aren't getting the right chemicals in our brains. So what really happens is that if we have things that happen to us, we have experiences, every day, every moment, this is an experience for me. I have to make a decision. Am I going to remember this beautiful river that I am walking by, or am I going to concentrate on the person that irritated me? Which one of those am I going to put into my brain? Which one is going to be more beneficial for me? Obviously, this view, this walk, this time is going to be much more helpful to remember. But it's a decision we have to make every moment of every day. So this is the thing I want you to remember. When a thought pops into your mind, stop right then and there and ask yourself, do I want this to go up into my mind to be sitting there forever? Because what happens is if you put a rotten potato in with a bag of good potatoes, the bad potato doesn't get better. The good potatoes get rotten. Same thing happens with our mind. When we put a negative thought into our mind, it becomes like a rotten piece of fruit that poisons all the other fruit in there. And it really infiltrates. You can't get away from the stench of a rotten potato. Just because you've got 90% of the 99% of the other potatoes are good, you can't get away from the smell of that bad one. And that's what happens when we have negative thoughts in our head. So we got to decide, whatever happened to you, I'm so sorry. Life sucks and things happen, but we don't have to sit in that. We don't have to be reminded of that moment by moment. We can make a decision. You know what? Yeah, they called me a name. They thought I was awful. I got a bad review. Whatever. Make a decision. I'm not going to put that up there. It happened. But do I need to remember that for any reason? Is there any logical reason for me to keep that in my mind and cause more trauma? No. So then you reject it. You just reject it. You don't go looking for it again. You don't pick it up again. You just reject it. But then that means you have to put other things in there that are good fruit. So do things like this. Take walks. For me, this is where God is. He's everywhere. But for me, I am reminded why I don't have to get stressed out all the time. I don't have to be worried about things, because out here, you can hear the birds. They're managing all by themselves. You can see the water flow, the fish are in there, and all of this goes on just fine all by itself. I don't need to be worried about it. I don't need to manage it. God does all these, and He can do all of these things for us too. So those things that are in our minds, do everything you can to put the positive things in your mind. That's why I suggest people do the 3 G's, and I'm going to attach that here. You want to watch the other video on the 3 G's to getting rid of that toxic thinking. You've got to focus on gratitude. You've got to look at what you can do right. And not only you, but what do others do well? Sometimes we think you always, you never, you constantly. We use these big words as though people are always, never, constantly disrespecting us or whatever. Look for the good. Look for the good in yourself and in others. And it will make a huge difference as to whether or not you're feeling good about life. And then set the goals. Set your goals for doing more of this, getting out more, taking care of yourself, doing the kinds of things that make you feel good. I'm not talking, going out and drinking and using drugs and stuff like that. I'm talking about things that are good for you, things that make you healthy, things that are going to put good things back into your brain. Eating healthy, exercising, and all of those things really do help put those endorphins, those chemicals, back in our brains that are destroyed by negative thinking. So I hope this has helped you some today. I do have other videos on this, and I do have a course. It's actually a 12-week course on hope for recovery, because you know what? I'll tell you, this doesn't happen overnight. This is not an easy process. So I put it into a 12-week course, 90 days of actually focusing on how to change your thinking so you can live the life that God intended you to live. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please hit a like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell, because I put something new out almost every single week, and I know there'll be a benefit to you. Have a great day.